Hey there guys, this is Zane-Destiny, another review, this time on the Figma Max Factory number 137, Tekkaman, or as I knew him, Teknoman, when he used to show it on Fox Kids. Feels so long ago now. This was first released in 1992, the original series. In 1995 I believe it was dubbed in English. But I remember watching this show and instantly falling in love with it. This is probably around about the stage when I was first getting into anime and all things geeky, so it's kind of a big thing for me. So anyways, front of the box we can see Blade. That's the main character's name. It's called Teknoman Blade. Just need to clarify that. But we can see him in cryo there. We can see some accessories. I think his tech swords or tech staff. I think that's a shield and a spare head. Not too sure what the spare head's for. And you can see the Techno Crystal or Tech Setter on the front logo there. Love the look of that thing. Time to get a tattoo of it. Turn to the side of the box, you get a really nice in-your-face splash photo of Teknoman. Really cool looking. At the back, get some pretty nicely detailed splash photos of all his accessories, what poses you can put him in. Really nice. To the side, just Figma, and then back to the front. Right, let's get this baby open. And this is Blade free from the box. I'll go through his articulation now. During this I'll explain sort of the backstory of Teknoman. I know some people will call this Tekkaman, but just for the sake of argument for this review, I'll just be referring to him as Teknoman. I grew up with it that way, so anyways. So Teknoman is set, well, in a distant future, far distant future. Humanity's been attacked by, I believe the show called them spider crabs. I think they're also called radam. Basically parasites that take over hosts and make them do bad things. Now, to help with that, the radam kidnap sort of like species of the planet are taken over and brainwash them and give them superhuman armor, aka the Teknomen. The Teknomen. So there's a few of these guys going around making life hell on Earth, but the thing is, Blade has been, well, Blade is somewhat immune to the brainwashing, so he fights to protect the Earth from the evil radam. He teams up with the Earth's defense force called the Space Knights, if I remember rightly. So yeah, he's pretty much the only way they can win, really. So, go Blade. I remember first seeing this show and I was just awestruck by, well, the animation was, really good. Well, when I first saw it I thought it was really cool, so I still think it's cool now. A lot of cherished memories behind this show. Okay. Sorry this articulation video is not going so well, it's just pretty much whizzing through it, to tell the truth. I mean, it does what most figures you would expect humanoid figures would do. So, pulls off poses pretty well, although I think twisting his leg has kind of locked it in a different position. So, I'm probably going to have to fiddle around with this to get it back where it was. Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but at least that will make this easier. Twist, put it back in place. And it's a simple ball and socket, goes back in really easily. Really impressive with the feet. You wouldn't have thought this would support anyway, but he's got a pretty cool looking gimmick that allows him to stand up just fine when you get him in the right position. Okay, and these opening shoulder parts, I think, well, I can't remember the name exactly, but I know it's called Volteca, or no, Volte, oh, I don't know. Basically, like the Guyver, big massive beam of destruction coming from there. And the colours look pretty cool on it. Okay. That's pretty much it for a quick backstory and articulation. So Blade comes with a few interesting accessories. One or two I was a little confused about at first, but after realising what they were for, they kind of made sense. First of all, let's look at the different type of hands it comes with. These hands are very sturdy inside the joint, and they come off pretty easy, so changing hands is a bit of a breeze with this figure, which is a really good thing to have. You get two closed fists, one open displayed hand, one like clawing, angry, violent hand, and one half open hand, that's to hold weapons. Now speaking of weapons, you get two of these guys. I believe they're called tech swords. Very proportion. So yeah, he used this as like his mainstay weapon in the series. They also have an extra function of being able to connect together, but there is a bit of a part swapping involved. You start off with these, well, handles. You also get this extra piece. What you'll need to do is take these handles out and replace it with these two. It probably would have been just a bit easier just to have a peg in one and put it so it just fixes together, but I suppose they want to go for not realism, but as much realistic detail they probably put into it. And together, well, it's taller than a figure. About 7 inches probably, roughly. Another accessory he comes with, which should be on his back end. At the back he has a little hole, and that's where this little thing rests. So it starts off like a back skirt, but it's actually a shield. And to attach the shield, his forearms have this little removable gauntlet. So you unpeg it there. Don't know if you can see that properly. So you got two holes. One there, one there. Originally it was fixated into this one, but you just replace it onto the above hole. If it'll let me do it. No, you're not going to let me do it, are you? Oh wait, no, that's it. Well, ish. Give me a second. Okay, I had to clean up the hole that was inside. It was a bit of excess plastic. And the peg that was originally attached to the back, you just put in the original hole. And there's a cool little shield. Kinda cool. Okay. Let's also test his grabbing hand as well. Or holding hand even. Grabbing hand. See it? Goes in very easily. Okay. And see how well this goes in. Oh my. Saw a problem there already. I sort of bent the peg slightly in the staff. Ooh, that's something to watch out for. But all in all, sweet. Something else now. Look at that, that's really cool. Cool. Okay. This last accessory, which I was kind of confused about, is it comes with a spare head. Well, it took some time, a little bit of research to wonder what this was. If you look very closely, can you see that? Right, if I could point to it. Up here. That's an eye. Basically, in the show, sometimes you'll see the character's face inside the lens, and that's what they've done here. More or less. But there's a problem. Can you see the front face mask? How it's meant to be symmetrical, but it seems like it's a little warped to one side. Yeah, there was a lot of QC, quality control issues. So originally this figure was meant to be released back in June or July, and I didn't end up getting it till mid-December. So a lot of quality control issues, but I still think there's some issues. Mainly this mask. I think the other mask is just fine. Hang on. Let's have a closer look. Yeah, this one's technically just fine. It just doesn't look, the green doesn't look as nice as the other, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. And this mask is much more symmetrical than the other as well. And his other accessory, which I showed before, is the Voltekers. And I promise to show a close-up of these. Nice shiny, well, metallic green colour they got there. Very cool. One thing to note, which I didn't really explain the articulation, I love these shoulder joints. So, if I can get it into the light properly. So you got the normal shoulder joint inside the arm. Fair enough. Good range of motion. You also, the shoulder armour, it's got another ball joint on the shoulder, well, the arm part itself. So the arm moves and then the shoulder moves separately. So this gives you a good range of motion to pose in and move the shoulder into where you want it to go, which is really handy. So posing opportunities is quite varied for this cat figure, which I'm very happy about. So it's kind of funny how the feet and the shoulders impress me the most. But I think this figure impressed me quite a lot, to tell the truth. Right, we're going to look at a couple quick height comparisons now. Let's compare it to another Figma that I have. My Figma Cosmos, which I have reviewed in the past. They're really good together. Teknoman roughly measures at about 15 centimeters. I think it's almost the same size as Cosmos, if you think about it. Yeah. And now another height comparison I want to do. So what Teknoman reminds me of a lot is my Jehuti. I know it's a model kit, but oh well. I kind of wanted to do this sort of comparison for a long time. Oh my. That can be good. That can be good. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do this sort of comparison for a while now, just to see what they look like together. Like an older and younger brother. Sweet. So yeah, he's a pretty good size. So that's my review of the Teknoman Blade Figma. I must say I'm really happy with this purchase. I believe I bought him for 3,000 yen, which roughly converts to £21, roughly. I bought this guy at HLJ.com. Unfortunately, on their website it's got him listed as discontinued. So if you didn't get your chance to have this figure, then unfortunately I don't think he's going to be around again for a while. I think Teknoman Evil still might be around, but I still prefer Blade. So let's weigh the pros and cons. Some negatives is there's still a slight quality control issues, like for example the spare face is not symmetrical, but I suppose if you took some effort you'd be able to, for example, shave off this end, make it all nice and good. There'll probably be some issues with some pegs and holes. You just need to go through like a little hobby knife and just smooth out a bit more so parts fit in easier. But aside from that, not many negative. Oh, sorry, one negative that I want to point out. Even though the articulation is really nice, I think it would have been nicer if this knee joint was able to bend further. So maybe like that's my phone. Maybe like almost a 180. I think if he had like an extra knee joint, like you find in some play arts, or for example, just to make a pose like this more dynamic if his leg was flush to his thigh. But oh well, it's just the way his leg is, but I can deal with this. Oh well. Now, the positives. I say his colour and his proportions are highly show accurate. I mean, the details that they've put into this, I'd say very well done. I love the shoulder armour. I love the feet especially. I mean, still can't get over that, how well it pulls off. The accessories is just what it needs. Nothing too fancy, but they're nothing too fancy, but they all work just fine. They do what they need to do. So what I must say is that I give this guy a techno crystal rating. I can't get enough of this guy. If you can get hold of him, fantastic. I'd say if you were to buy him, I'd say a maximum to be spent on this guy would be about 25 quid, maybe 30 if it was still really good condition, mid-box condition, but I wouldn't say anything more than that. I'm not sure if they will be doing a re-release. I highly doubt it. So if you can get your hands on this guy, it'd be pretty ideal.
With the amazing power of his emerald techno crystal, which calls upon the universal forces of time and space, Blade is endowed with impenetrable armor, quantum energy weapons, and superhuman powers, transforming him into the warrior superhero known as Teknoman!